So recently, the platforms we've been using for Online CELTA, obviously with the arrival of the pandemic, things were quite difficult for all of us to begin with, because suddenly we had to move our training online, and it was quite nerve-wracking, I will admit, for most of us in this situation. However, I think we have adapted to it really well, and the Cambridge criteria fits very well with online teaching. So the way the course works, we use Zoom at International House, and we do live classes. So some work you'll be set before the class, which will be flipped, and then you'll have live sessions where we'll do demonstrations, a bit like a university seminar as well sometimes, and there'll be lots of planning workshops together. So you'll work in small groups, planning together, and then you go off and do your individual bits in the evening by yourselves. We have some online resources that we provide you, which are unique to International House London, that you can refer to when you're planning your lessons. But we give you lots and lots of support, and then we observe you live. So we watch you teach your lessons live on Zoom, and you teach a live class of students. I did this a bit myself in 2020, and it was really enjoyable actually, because suddenly you've got these students from all different countries and walks of life coming together for the particular event of doing a CELTA, being involved in a teaching practicum in a class for teachers. So, in one class we had someone who worked for Saatchi & Saatchi in Argentina. We had somebody who was a nurse in between shifts in a hospital in Morocco. We had someone from Saudi Arabia in London in their bedroom, and we had someone in Turkey who was between calls with clients. So all of these people came together for a class, and it's actually really rewarding to do that. So I'd really recommend it. I think there's a great difference from teaching online as face-to-face. Obviously, there are key differences, such as getting feedback. You have to be more careful about how you do that, because it's not the same as being in a room where you can see people's body movements really up close and you can read them easily. So that's a difference. You can't do as much pair work as you normally would do, but you can still do pair work with breakout rooms on Zoom as well. Because obviously with the communicative methodology that we use, we do lots of student interaction, and we avoid lecturing the students, so we use techniques in order to involve the learners in the learning process. But the Cambridge criteria works very well for online learning in the same way that it does for face-to-face teaching. So if you're struggling to choose between face-to-face online, I think you've got to think about the future. Obviously, we'll all be teaching online in some capacity in the future. The world has changed in the way that we do things. So as I say before, the assessment criteria is the same for online and face-to-face. The certificate is exactly the same. The techniques you'll be using are exactly the same as well. So it's really about your preference. If you're the kind of person that likes to be in a room with other people, then maybe you might want to choose a face-to-face course, but certainly the criteria that you're assessed on is the same, and the certificate you get is the same. And for some people, they might find it more convenient from working at home. And obviously at the moment we're in lockdown in London as I'm recording this video for you, so it's very convenient for lots of people to do an online course, and I've worked on a number of them over the last year, and they work very well, and you can build up the same community, I think, as we have in a face-to-face classroom as well.